Rural Heritage on RFD TV is brought to you by Rural Heritage Magazine, a bi-monthly magazine featuring articles about farming and logging with draft animal power, small-scale diversified family farming and homesteading, and other aspects of our rich rural heritage. Rural Heritage Magazine, borrowing from yesterday to do the work of today. For subscription information, please call 319-362-3027 or order online at www.ruralheritage.com. Hi, I'm Joe Mishka. Welcome to another episode of Rural Heritage TV. I first met Johnny and Linda Kee many years ago at Lebanon, Kansas, where they had one of a couple dozen chuck wagons participating in the Wagons for Warriors event. Johnny had been hard at work for several days, setting up, tending the fires, preparing, cooking, and serving food to be sampled by a couple thousand people. But when I asked him about his chuck wagon, he paused his work and gave me a tour of the chuck wagon, talked about his menu, and invited me to visit his and Linda's home, where they grow and preserve a wide variety of vegetables. Since that first meeting, I've been to Johnny and Linda's home 4 or 5 times, watching Johnny prepare his seed beds and plant with his beloved small John Deere tractor, using implements he built himself, and learning how he and Linda harvest and can hundreds of quarts of vegetables. A few days ago, the Kees were putting up carrots. Here's how they do it.
Normally, when the carrots go to showing that they're fixing to start blooming, they start running up some shoots, they're done. They've done all they're going to do. And so normally that's when we take them out. But since we knew this day was coming within a few days, we did not take them out at that stage. And now they've shot some blooms up there. But I do not think they've got tough or hard. I think they'll still be fine. And so we're going to knock the tops off of them with a bush hog and then hook to a middle buster is what I've got, and just lay them out, pick them up, and start processing them. We ought to be able to see where the row is now.
Right.
In fact, looked like I capped 2 or 3. So maybe there'll be some carrots down in there.
Yes, sir.
I like carrot. Dirty carrot.
Yes. A little bit of a crunch.
Yep. Clean dirt though. Not a total loss.
No, that worked good. No, you got a lot of carrots here.
Hello, and thank you for watching Rural Heritage today. If you've enjoyed seeing horses work in the field, please consider visiting the American Brabant Association's Fall Rendezvous, October 6th and 7th in Bellington, West Virginia. You'll see American Brabant horses logging, field demonstrations, plowing, loose hay, and a precision driving contest. So please give us your consideration if you'd like to visit us this fall, or to learn more, visit theamericanbrabantassociation.net or look for us on Facebook. Thank you.
To peel them, I was using a high pressure washer. I'd stick it down in there and whip it around. And it was doing a fair job, but it was gouging a lot of them.
Yeah,
Just
right.
cutting into them.
Right.
She was looking at Facebook one day, and this lady says, put a commode brush in an electric drill.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we went to the dollar store and found a commode brush with a round
Handle. Yeah.
I cut the
Stem.
handle off of it.
Right.
And on that shank, I bored a hole in it, screwed an awl thread in it, put it in my drill. You can put a few of those in there and peel them just slick and clean.
Wow.
That's the end of it. Now we'll see what this does for us peeling and cleaning. I'll transfer them over here and we'll add water and heat them up and get them ready to go in the jars. Put them in a pot and get them warm.
Bring them to it, yeah.
Bring them to a boil.
Bring them to a boil. Don't boil them, but bring them to a boil.
Okay, so that's not even parboiling them. You're just getting them hot.
Just
Yes,
get 'em
so
hot.
you're equalizing everything.
Okay. All
and
right.
then you put them in clean jars that you've sterilized, and put some clean hot water on them, and a little salt, and put the lids on them, and put them in the cookers.
We bring the
Lids
water,
on.
we've got some water in the bottom of the cooker so it'll make steam. And you bring that water to the same temperature as this jar is by feel. And so you're not...
That's so you're not cracking the jar.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And then when you put them in that canner, and all the canners have a way to let the steam build up inside. You just leave the...
That's like a governor on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just leave that off till it starts blowing steam, and then you can put it on and it'll build pressure. We leave this open until it starts blowing steam out this valve, and you close it,
Okay.
it'll build pressure.
Okay.
This one will regulate itself by
Tipping.
releasing. Yes.
Yeah.
I call it jiggling.
Yeah. Right.
This one will not.
Okay.
It'll build pressure and blow this pop off. So you have to stay with it.
Okay.
You reduce the heat when you get to the desired pressure.
Yep.
You just reduce the heat until you are holding that pressure. This one is a combination. It does the same thing, but it has the jiggler because I guess it's newer and it's safer. But you got 5, 10, or 15 pound designated setting, and that's at that point it will start releasing. But I also just watch it and keep the temperature right.
So how does that work? It's the taper then that gives it the different pressure? Because it's the same weight.
Yeah, it's the same weight. I guess it's the milling.
Yeah.
I can see the difference.
Yeah.
In the seat.
Yeah.
That seat's on this.
How tight it is.
You're right.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so.
That's interesting.
This one will pop off at 5 pounds. This one at 10. This one at 15. And they go a couple pounds over. Because this one I watch it and keep it on 10 pounds if that's what we're using, and it doesn't jiggle. But if you turn your way and let it build a little bit, it'll start jiggling at 12.
Okay. All right.
And, we actually have 2 of these and this one. And when we had a bulk of something, like when we harvested potatoes,
right.
We pick everything from an egg down,
right,
and clean it and can those potatoes.
Okay.
And we'd have so many that with these smaller ones, you would can a load, and then it takes time for the pressure to go down and cool off enough, and then you can another load. We were working all day long, and then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in hot summertime in August, that humidity, it was killing us. So now we take 2 of these and this one, when we do one load at the same, run them concurrently at the same time, and we shut it off at 11 o'clock and we're done. We don't have to be out there at 2 putting in another one, 4 putting in another one, and just melting down.
We now have 4 volumes of America's Rural Yesterday books with photos of farm life 100 years ago. Fieldwork has images of horses in the fields working the ground, planting and harvesting the crop. Barn and Farmyard shows farmers putting that crop in the barn, silo, or corn crib and caring for poultry, hogs, cattle, and more. In At Home and in Town, farm families prepare Sunday dinner, relax in the parlor, drive to town by buggy or wagon, and visit the general store. Finally, Early Tractors has over 250 photos of early American tractors like Alice Chalmers, Oliver, John Deere, Farmall, Minneapolis Moline, and many more. These photos are of new tractors back in the day and show how they were configured coming out of the factory. Buy any of these books for $24.95 plus shipping. When you buy 2 or more, the price per book goes down, all the way to $17.49 per book when you buy all 4. To order, just call 1-877-647-2452 or order online at www.ruralheritage.com. That's 877-647-2452.
Yes. I just let it boil for about 5 minutes and it'll be good. There's a piece of
Half teaspoon?
half a teaspoon of salt.
That's just regular iodized table salt.
It's canning salt.
Okay.
I just buy the regular box of canning salt. I don't. And I put just a tad, little less than a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar in every jar. Probably an eighth of a teaspoon of sugar. Just cause Mama did.
Yep.
I always like to use the clean water on them instead of what I cook them in. Don't know if it matters, but that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
We get them in 1,000-piece cubes.
That probably won't happen again.
Because they're warm.
It won't.
And
You
the
need
less
rings?
handle them, the better.
I got rings right there behind Joe.
Now, if I calculated right, I should have about an inch up on them. And we're close. Close enough for... There's an old saying of 4 words, and it sort of explains the whole thing. You can eat what you grow, and that could be 1 jar of tomatoes.
Right,
You eat what you grow.
right.
Or you can grow what you eat, then you need 400 quarts to feed a family for a year.
Right.
And so it just depends on if you've got the containers on the patio and you're growing a little bit and you want to preserve it and feel good about it, you don't have to get involved. But if you end up with a backyard garden and you got quite a bit and you're going to supplement your food with it, you go a little bigger. And if you get carried away, you can go even bigger.
If you go crazy like you guys have.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know, you're talking about 4 pints here, 18 pints, because this will double stack.
Yep.
And then 32.
And you've got 2 of these, you say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And if you did just this, and you did it all day long, you could put up quite a few pints.
Right. And every day.
If you had a system.
Yeah. I know when the kids were at home and we were younger and both working, she and her sister bought 1 apiece of these when we first married. And we would have these peas, and we'd pick them and shell them. I had a sheller that me and my dad built, and we'd have a ice chest full of shelled peas, keep ice on it, and we'd come in from work every afternoon, and she'd do a canner load, which was 18 pints.
Yeah.
Or 7 quarts.
Right.
Next afternoon, do it again. And we keep...
Hi, I'm Joe Mishka of Rural Heritage Magazine. I'm on location of one of the many events we cover that celebrates our rural heritage. If you enjoy our show, check out our magazine, where you'll learn more about the people that blend the past with what works today. You can save almost 20% off the newsstand price by subscribing at ruralheritage.com or chat with us at 877-647-2452. That's toll-free, 877-647-2452.
These canners are milled. It's metal to metal, precision milled. They don't have a rubber ring. I think I like these better. That ring tends to wear out, and then you have a hard time replacing it. So to ensure a good fit, the manufacturer recommends rubbing them with paraffin, and it melts and fills any little small void.
Okay.
And it also, I guess, helps them slide down that taper on this taper.
Right.
Because it is milled, there's a certain way you got to turn it. It's marked, and the cooker is marked. So, set it on there and lock it in place. Then you have, I try to seat that so that it's even. Make sure the vent's open. And I've got even spacing all the way around so it's not caught. And then tighten opposite sides so you don't draw it. They do not, these older cookers do not have a automatic pressure release that holds it at a temperature. They have a pop-off that'll blow, and supposedly, hopefully, before it explodes. But then you have a shut-off. So when that water goes to boiling and fills that void with steam, and it goes to coming out of here, then we'll close that. And it'll gradually start heating up more in there and building pressure. So to get it to 240 degrees, which you can never get there
By just boiling water.
It goes 10 pounds of pressure, and then so we cook them at 240 degrees. But the standard indicator is just 10 pounds of pressure for so many minutes, or 15 pounds of pressure for so many minutes. We heat it up slowly to allow everything to heat together and we don't pop a jar. Meanwhile, me and the kitty's got a job.
It's coming out.
Okay, go ahead and close it. All right, we're timing.
Yeah,
She's scared critters are gonna get after him.
sure.
But he'd get on top of the camper. He'd go up a ladder and sleep on top of campers. There wasn't no critters gonna get him.
Right, right.
It's still boiling. But the bottom line is, and I've said it about 3 times, don't back off processing and canning if you're considering it just because you don't have the big equipment.
We'll keep bringing you stories from the Kees as they harvest and process tomatoes, okra, cucumbers, and more. It is such a pleasure to spend time with such capable but humble friends. This program is available for purchase. To order your copy, please call 319-362-3027 or visit www.ruralheritage.com. Rural Heritage is a bi-monthly magazine dedicated to draft animal farming and logging, as well as other aspects of our rich rural heritage. It is published by Mishka Press, which also offers a complete line of back-to-the-land books, DVDs, and calendars. Call or write for a catalog or subscription information, or visit our website at www.ruralheritage.com.